Listening Library presents Frankly in Love by David Yoon. Read for you by Raymond J. Lee. Before we begin. Well, I have two names. That's what I say when people ask me what my middle name is. I say, well, I have two names. My first name is Frank Lee. Mom and Dad gave me that name mostly with the character count in mind. No, really. Frankli contains 7 characters, and 7 is a lucky number in America. Frank is my American name, meaning it's my name. My second name is Sungmin Lee, and it's my Korean name, and it follows similar numerological cosmology. Sungminli contains 9 characters, and 9 is a lucky number in Korea. Nobody calls me Sungmin, not even Mom and Dad. They just call me Frank. So I don't have a middle name. Instead, I have 2 names. Anyway, I guess having both lucky numbers 7 and 9 is supposed to make me some kind of bridge between cultures or some shit. America, this is Korea. Korea, this is America. Everyone good? Can I go do my thing now? Good. The fall season of the senior year of the high school period of early human life. Chapter 1. Lake Girlfriend. Senior year is begun. Is begun sounds cooler than the more normal has begun, because if you say it right, you sound like a lone surviving knight delivering dire news to a weary king on the brink of defeat, his limp hand raking his face with dread. The final breach is begun, your grace. The downfall of House Lee is begun. I'm the king in that scenario, by the way, raking my face with dread. For senior year is begun. Sometimes I look way back to 6 months ago, during the halcyon days of junior year. How he pranced in the meadows after taking the PSAT, a practice run of the SAT, which in Playa Mesa, in California, in the United States of America, is widely used to gauge whether an early human is fit for entrance into an institution of higher learning. But the PSAT? A mere trial, we juniors sang. What counts not for shit, your grace? How we lazed in the sunlight, sharing jokes about that one reading comprehension passage about the experiment testing whether dogs found it easier to tip a bin, easier, for food or pull a rope, trickier. Based on the passage and results in Figure 4, were the dogs A. more likely to solve the rope task than the bin task? B. more frustrated by the rope task than the bin task? C. more likely to resent their human caregivers for being presented with such absurd tasks to begin with? I mean, just give us the food in a damn dog bowl like normal people? Or D. more likely to rake a paw over their face with dread? The answer was D. For come score day, I discovered I got a total of 1,400 points out of a possible 1,520, the 96th percentile. This earned me plenty of robust, spontaneous high fives from my friends, but to me, they sounded like palms, slapping the sealed door of a crypt. The target was 1,500. When I told Mom and Dad, they stared at me with pity and disbelief, like I was a little dead sparrow in the park. And Mom actually said this, for real. Don't worry, we still love you. Mom has said the words, I love you, exactly 2 times in my life. Once for the 1,400, and another time when she called after her mother's funeral in Korea when I was 10. Hannah and I didn't go. Dad was at the store. He didn't go either. In retrospect, it's weird we didn't all go. Secretly, in retrospect, I'm glad I didn't go. I met my grandma only once, when I was 6. She spoke no English. Me, no Korean. So in retrospect, maybe it's not so weird that we didn't all go. Dad has said the words, I love you, exactly 0 times in my life. Let's go back to that PSAT score. As a leading indicator, a bellwether, augury, harbinger, and many other words from the now useless PSAT vocabulary study guide. A score of 1,500 would mean I would probably kick the real SAT's ass high enough to gain the attention of the Harvard, which is the #1 top school in whole of United States, according to Mom and Dad. A 1,400 means I'll probably only SAT just high enough to get into the University of California at Berkeley, which in Mom and Dad's mind is a sad consolation prize compared with the Harvard. And sometimes, just for a nanosecond, their brain lock actually has me thinking, Berkeley sucks. My big sister Hannah coined the term brain lock, which is like a headlock, but for your mind. Hannah lives in Boston, near the other Berkeley, the Berklee College of Music. Berkeley is my real dream school. But Mom and Dad have already nixed that notion. Music? How you making money? How you eating? Hannah's two names are Hannah Lee, character count 7, and Chi Young Lee, 9. Dad named Hannah Lee after Hana Lee, from a popular 1960s marijuana anthem disguised as a children's song, Puff the Magic Dragon. The song had found its way into high school English classes in Seoul in the 1970s. Dad has never smoked pot in his life. He had no idea what he was singing. Hannah is the oldest. Hannah did everything right. Mom and Dad told her to study hard, so she got straight A's. They told her to go to the Harvard, so she did, and graduated with honors. She moved on to Harvard Law School and graduated with a leap big enough to catapult her above assistants her same age at Eastern Edge Consulting downtown, which specializes in negotiating ridiculous patents for billion-dollar tech companies. She's even dabbling in venture capital now from her home office high atop Beacon Hill. Weekdays, she wears very expensive pantsuits. Weekends, sensible but still very expensive dresses. Someone should put her on the cover of a business travel magazine or something. But then, Hannah did the one wrong thing. She fell in love. Falling in love isn't bad by itself, but when it's with a black boy, it's big enough to cancel out everything she did right her whole life. This boy gave Hannah a ring, which Mom and Dad have not seen and might never. In another family, perhaps on another planet, this brown boy would be brought home for summer vacation to meet the family, and we would all try out his name in the open air, Miles Lane. But we're on this planet, and Mom and Dad are Mom and Dad, so there'll be no Hannah this summer. I miss her, but I understand why she won't come home, even though it does mean I'll be left high and dry without someone to make fun of the world with. The last time she came home was a Thanksgiving holiday 2 years ago. She was at a gathering. It was a Chang's turn to host. I'm not sure why she did what she did that night. So I have this boy now, she said, and he is the one. And she held out her phone with a photo of Miles to Mom and Dad and everyone. It was like she cast a silence spell on the room. No one said shit. After a long minute, the phone turned itself off. Mom and Dad went to the front door, put on their shoes, and waited with eyes averted for us to join them. We left without a word of explanation. None was needed. And the next morning, Hannah vanished onto a flight back to Boston, 4 days early. A year later, after 6 or 7 Hannah-free gatherings, Ella Chang dared utter the word, disowned. And life went on. Mom and Dad no longer talked about Hannah. They acted like she moved to a foreign country with no modern forms of communication. Whenever I brought her up, they would literally, avert their eyes and fall silent until I gave up. After a while, I did. So did Hannah. Her text message responses fell from every day to every other day, then every week, and so on. This is how disownment happens. It's not like some final sentence declared during some family tribunal. Disownment is a gradual kind of neglect. Since Mom and Dad gave up on Hannah, Hannah decided to give up as well. I get that. But I never gave up on her. I still haven't. It's a scary thing to watch someone you love vanish from sight.